Okay, well, here we go again. Time to get the last little bit of sheet metal done on the old black Elco here. If you didn't see any of this stuff, go back and watch those. Obviously the bondo work's not done. However, it's time to move on to the other side, at least to have all the sheet metal done. Then we can get all the bondo work done and be done. Holy cow. Anybody else tired of sheet metal work? Me, pick me. I am very tired of sheet metal work. I don't know. Anyway, we have this to do. So we're gonna knock that out. And in order to do that, I'm gonna take this out and whip her around and back it in so we're over on that side with this. And you know, because the welder and all that crap doesn't make it over here because of the plug-in. So I'm gonna whip this thing around and we'll get started on that side. I've also had the battery disconnected for a month, so the ECU's got to relearn. Okay, so much like the other side, like I said, if you haven't seen that, go back and give it a watch. We gotta take the door panel off, all this crap, so that we can get this trim piece out of here, so we can get this folded over and welded in. Take the glass out, all the fun stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Warp speed. When you come back, that'll all be taken apart, and we can get started right out yonder. Okay, well, the panel's off. This looks like the factory cardboard. I don't know if that's factory tape or not, but it's got the insulation too behind it, which is good. The driver's side didn't have any of that, so I may try to I don't know, manufacture something to get it back on there, or find some, or whatever, make it a little quieter, or just not care about it at all. But anyway, we got to pull this off so we can get to the window bolts. I don't think this is the original tape. You can kind of see old tape marks around there. So anyway, we're going to work on getting this crap off of here so we can get to the window and the wall till the sweat drops down my back, and just keep on cruising along here. Hopefully today's a smooth sailing easy day. That'd be nice. Can never get mad at those days. Whoa. All right, just like the other side, go ahead and put our crank back on, crank her up till we can get to that bolt and that bolt, and then we got to go up a little farther than that to get to, I think there was another two or something like that around in that area. And actually that screw right there is missing. We might be able to get this trim out without pulling the glass, but I want to pull the glass anyway because I'm going to be cutting and welding, and I don't want to screw the glass up. So we'll bring her up here think those were 10s. If I remember right, the other side, they weren't even tight. But that door was super rattly driving the car. This side was quiet. So we'll put her back together and make her nice for the next guy that cruises this sweet hog around. There's my extension. Let's see, these guys here. That one. And that one. Throw those over here. All right, let's see if I can get this window out of here. Got to play with this a little bit. Fire a little bit from the other side. Whoa! Don't let her slip on you. What are you hooked on? Hooked on phonics. Worked for me. There we go. Now we can take the Phillips screws off this trim piece. And I think they're this guy here. There's a handful of them. There's a few of them already missing. So we'll go ahead and take these guys off. Pull that trim piece out of there. And then we can start cutting. Almost forgot. We gotta take those two 10s off right there to get our handle out, and then take that clip right there off the lock. Pop that out. They didn't have the lock rod down there hooked up, so don't have to take that off. We just gotta take this rod here loose with that clip, unbolt that handle, and pop the clip off that lock. Pull it apart. All right, Dan. We got the handle, the lock. Take that Phillips screw out of there. Hey, how about that? Okay, well, there's that. Now we have to do exactly what we did on the other side. And that is, let me start sanding on this thing a little bit. I don't know how far down they cut that. Just right there. That's good. I really hate that they took this off up here like they did. What a pain. Anyway, we got to trace out the top side so we can cut just the top of this out. Suck this piece down. That'll tell us where we're going to cut down here, and we'll be on our way. So let's go ahead and make some adjustments. I'm going to clean all this up so we can see our marks and whatnot. I didn't do that on the other side. We're going to do this just a tickle different. All right, well, we've got this cleaned up decent enough to be able to see our Sharpie lines. Right now, we're just kind of looking at this gap and make sure that we're lined up perfect right here in this corner, which that looks pretty dang good right there. So what we're gonna do on this side, since that side shifted on us just the tiniest bit, we're gonna put a Cleco in this thing, and then we're gonna trace out this top side and just cut that out so we can get this panel to sit down. You know, kind of like we did on the rear quarter over there. If you haven't seen that one, go back and have a look. But we're just gonna Cleco this to hold it in place, just to get our line drawn. And actually this gap at the top is not what it is at the bottom. And I don't think it was that way from the factory. We can shift this. Oh, too much there. We can shift that to where it's better, but we still have to cut this top side out to get this panel to sit down. And then we can kind of adjust that line wherever we need it. We just don't want to get it, it's because this line, this body line here is high of this. It's kind of throwing off what our gap is actually going to look like. So we got to play around a little bit with it. Not too much though. And then we'll get it fit. All right, well, oh, here comes the meat wagon again. Anywho, boy, this is, for such a small town, that thing goes by a lot. Anyway, we got our line drawn here, kind of where we're gonna end. We're gonna cut this down, take this piece off, then we can put our panel back on, get it all lined up and flushed up here, and see what we look like here. We can make adjustments up on this top side to shift the panel or slide it, you know, whatever we need to do, we'll do it. So we're gonna cut on the inside of this line like normal, leave a little bit of extra material in case we need to shift, you know, make adjustments, whatever have you. Yeah, all right, here we go. Better cover the old watch up. Don't want to ruin another one. All right, we got a cut. Let's see what else we need here. I tried drilling these two little rivets, or not rivets, but spot welds on the back here. And we might have one more little guy over here. This one's good. Front one might need a little work still. Just on the top side of it, it looks like. It's pretty close though. I think that got it there. Oh yeah. Here we go, just like that. A little bit of surface rust on the inside there. Not terrible. Oh. That's that brace I was talking about on the other side. So now we should be able to fit our piece as long as this cut is good. We might have to trim just a little bit. Let's see. See what she looks like here. Get that top flushed up pretty good. Make sure this is lining up all right, or close to it. It'll line up better when we get that metal out of there. Let me fool around and get another Cleco put in this with the top side all lined up good. And then we can check our line here and make our bottom line across there. All right, so we pretty much got that set. Got our edge over here lined up. Made our quick line across the bottom there pretty quick. And from there, we can trim get this cut, make any small trim adjustments just like the other side to get the panel fit up. I did get a little bit into this brace here. I'll have to weld that, smooth it all out. But otherwise, should be in good shape, I believe. Okay, well, it's cut out. I just quick ran around the outside of it. And if you look at our top side, it looks pretty good how it's sitting down in there. And then you can see a gap here. That's because this is shifted over. So once we get that set where it needs to be, that gap disappears. And get the top side pushed down where it needs to be. Bottom gap disappears. We're flush over here, close to it, right there. We'll have to do a little bit of trimming, just a bit along this top edge, and I think it'll be set up pretty good. Okay, well, let's have a look. I've been doing some trimming, getting everything set up. Let's go ahead and throw this piece on here. That's lined up pretty good. That's lined up pretty good. No tweaking, just sitting there. Now, if you can see right here, this panel did get damaged. So this is not sitting in flush. So I need to get the body hammer and dolly or something out and get this pushed back out, because it's pushing against the edge of the door here, and it's kicking this panel outward. So I need to straighten that up, and then I don't know, I might not even screw with this. It's not like it's, well, maybe I'll put a tack or two on there. Not gonna affect the rigidity. Yeah, so once I get this fixed, you can kind of see it maybe a little bit better here this way. Then we should be able to fit this panel up and maybe start getting it tacked on. Well, folks, I believe the time has arrived. We basically got this thing right where we want it. And our gap over here looks just like the other side. That's good. I've got everything pretty much set up and ready to go, I believe. For the most part, anyhow. So we're gonna go ahead and get our welding helmet on and see if we can't get this thing tacked in here. Okie dokie. Well, I got my welding gloves on and all the proper PPE. So let's go ahead and make sure that this is exactly where we want it. That looks about right. I lied, not quite. Now it's where I want it. I like that quite a bit. How's my welder gonna do for me today? Like shit? I had it set up really nice for that rear quarter, and now it seems to be back up to its same old shenanigans. Let's go for another one. Watch your knee pad. There we go, it's tacked in. Looks pretty good. All right, how about that? So you saw me working this side over here, and that's because when they took this apart and they pulled this edge out, it folded this in, it crinkled this in. So I had to try to get it formed back into its original spot to get it to, you know, shape, you know, flush it up to weld it. But there you go, it's all tacked in. You guys know the drill. Weld, grind, weld, grind, weld, grind, all the fun stuff. Put this final weld in here, eh? Look at that. Kind of started working on grinding some of it as I went. Letting it cool down, do a little grinding, do a little welding, let it cool. Trying not to, if you watched any of the other sheet metal videos on this, I've got the welder turned way down from what it was. And I was just really sucking the steel in. And this side obviously is a lot better. This panel I'm not super impressed with though. It's got a big high spot right here. I'll have to get the grinder out and see if maybe there's bondo on it. I don't know, it's not great coming from this back. But it's good enough to work with anyway. So I'm gonna hit this with the grinder, smooth these out, and that'll be it. We've got our panel in. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, just knocking stuff flying everywhere. Everywhere. Much deserved after that, folks. Look at that. She's all welded in, ground down. Not bad. It didn't buckle as bad as the other side did. So this will be a lot easier to do with bondo. Just a nice little skim coat. It's not that thick either on the other side, but I had to use more than I wanted to. But this turned out good. This turned out really good. I don't know, you guys probably can't tell on camera, but yeah, there's a dent here that was previously there, but you can see how smooth I got the weld ground down. A little bit low on this side here. Otherwise, this is all basically smooth. So anywho, yeah, that's gonna finish this one up. We're just gonna keep plugging away. I really want to get this car done, so that's what we're doing. And hopefully after this, if you're tired of watching sheet metal work as much as I'm tired of doing sheet metal work, and Matt's tired of doing sheet metal work, yeah, we're not going to be doing it after this for a little while. I'll drink to that. All right, well, have a great weekend. We'll see you in the next one.